All right, good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning and it's tea time with S.A. Crow. So, if you're new to the channel and you've just stumbled across me, I'm S.A. Crow. I am a contemporary romance suspense author. I've written 3 novels. They're part of my Fire series. And so you have Into the Fire Inside, and now The Seas Catch Fire. I have a free story that you can get. Just hop over to my website. Links are down below. I also write urban fantasy mystery under my other pen name, Anne Crow. So you can find those links down below as well. And today is kind of author talk day, and then I'm going to read from a new book, which will have a new playlist. So we will start reading from Home Fires, which is a short that will be part of the box set. So, which will be coming out hopefully in 6 months. So, yeah, less than 6 months now. So, I'm looking forward to that and giving that to you guys. So, today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite writing websites that I go to routinely, that I use for either writing, editing, basically writing business, things like that. So the first one, of course, is I always have my writing group up. On the Wings for Writers is my writing group. I always have the Discord up. We also have a Facebook group. So I have that up for, chatting with fellow writers, getting inspiration, getting, cheers to help me get through things. We share sprints that we're having or events like this. So we also have a word of the day and a writing prompt of the day. So those things, it's always good to have a writing community with you. I highly recommend a writing community because the feedback is lovely to have. Because if you need feedback, we will be starting live critique reads back up again next month. So that's nice because you can read a piece and get feedback immediately instead of waiting for it from beta readers or alpha readers or something like that. Another site that I use routinely is Google Docs. I use that to keep track of all of my stories, where they are. I have a folder for stories. I have that broken down into Fire series, then independent stories that are going to be one-offs, and then my urban fantasy stuff. So you can also color code. I color code, like the Fire series is red. My urban fantasy is purple. I then color code folders like the first draft, second draft, whatever, based on, am I working on this now? If I'm working on it now, it's green. If if it's in a certain stage and I'm not working on it right now, it'll be yellow. And then if it's done, red. So it's a nice way to color code and keep track of things however you want to keep track of them. So I highly recommend that. I've recently got Atticus, and I'm using that for my formatting. So even though I keep my backup in Google Drive, I also put it in Atticus so I can do the formatting and put that all together. And I'm much safer in a safe environment. I use ProWrite Aid, especially for all my editing. I use that in tandem, which I do have an episode where I talked about my editing usage and what's making editing so much easier for me as a dyslexic author. And so I use that in combination with AII. The AI I use is Claude or Chat AI. Chat GPT, yes. So if Claude is not working because they're overloaded with people, hi, MM Ward. It's good to see you. I'm doing good today. How are you doing? What's some of your favorite websites you use for writing or keeping track of things? So I use ProWrite and I'll use Claude or ChatGPT. I have a prompt that I shared in that video if you guys would like that prompt. I don't have it write for me. I don't have it edit for me. What I have it do is take a look at my chapter or a section of my chapter and tell me things that it sees that I could work on. Then I go back to my draft, work on them, let it do another analysis of it, and it will tell me, hey, these things you did are great, but you could also go deeper here or there. And of course, you take those things with a grain of salt because you know what you're doing and what you're going to give away later versus what it knows about your story. So another site I use frequently is One Stop for Writers. They have emotional thesaurus, they have character motivations, setting thesaurus, symbolism, textures, idea generator. They have a lot of things that will help you. I really can't wait to get a subscription to that site because it is so useful. But they do have a limited amount that they do for free, and sometimes they'll just get things ticking. So I highly recommend One Stop for Writers. Awesome for quick, just, okay, I need some help. Let's see if there's another site I go to frequently. So that's all of my like writing and taking care of things portion, like if I'm writing or editing. And then of course I use social media managers. I use the Facebook social media manager because it does Facebook and Instagram for me at the same time. If I'm going to do TikTok, I do that from my phone. And now I do threads through my phone for Instagram. You can also do that on your computer. I use YouTube frequently throughout the day. I have a playlist that's my writing playlist. It's just stuff that to keep me going when I'm drafting. I have a playlist that I use for, it says work, but that's my editing playlist, or if I just want like a theme. So like if I want a dangerous bad boy kind of theme, I might find a playlist that works with that. Or if I'm writing noir, my mystery series, then I will want noir, jazzy kind of stuff, depending on where they're at. Or I might want goth. So yeah, I have that that I listen to frequently. Of course, I've got my channel that I do things for. So presents. My website I have on Wix. So I go there frequently, at least once a week, to do my blog, post my blog. I also have Blogger for my Ann Crow blog. Or no, that's not my Ann Crow blog. I have Medium for my Ann Crow blog. I have Blogger for Bark Adventures. And then I use Notion to keep track of everything. That's my calendar. That's my writing planner. Keeping track of what I've worked on, what I've not worked on, the status of projects, and that kind of thing. I'd be happy to show everybody. Actually, I will do that. Let's pull up. Let me pull up Window. And let me get the media support. There we go. Not enough spoons. Oh, I have had to cut the social media platforms. Yeah, if there's anything that where you can post once and it will post to as many things as possible, that's a really great idea if you don't have enough spoons. So this is my daily board in Notion, but let me find it. Where'd you go? author dashboard. There we go. So in here I've got my projects that I'm currently working on. I have my 2 series, templates, story ideas, which I have put several in, and it's got marketing plans and things like that. So, and then I have a tracker, workbook, a calendar for what I'm working on. So like right now I'm working on the box set and putting Home Fires on Ream, and working on Hematite Without Faith, editing Obsidian Vendetta, trying to figure out what my cover designs are going to be for the new editions, that kind of thing. I think I did that. Ah, I see. So yeah, in Notion, I keep track of everything in one place. And so my daily, here in my daily, I have a place where I'll put, okay, I've worked on this project, chapter 1 is done, in my progress and my tracker. So Notion is one of those things that I use frequently. I gotta get the cursor all the way over here. So yeah, if you have energy issues, you know, just it's too much. I try to post my social media once a week. So I do it on Saturday. So I make sure that Sunday through next Saturday is done. And I don't have to worry about it for a week. I may post something in between. But I choose when I've got the spoons to do that. So I just make it a chunk of my time on Saturday. Instead of drafting or editing, I will work on my social media. So that's how I do it with the amount of energy I have. Like I said, I use Facebook because it will let me do social media for 2 places at the same time. And I can do the reams, the reels, and the stories and all that from there. So that makes my life a little easier. Yeah, that is pretty much what I use every day. So what websites do you frequent when it comes to writing or taking care of your author business? Which ones would you highly recommend? If you're not in the live, pop those down in the description. I will pop in the comments. I will pop these sites that I mentioned in the description. So yeah, I'd like to know what you guys use, because there's always something new for me to learn. All right, so projects and their status. The thing that's giving me the most trouble and that I'm mentally preparing myself for is On the Wings for Writers cookbook for charity. It should have been out in January, but we've been having problems with the printers. It's a beautiful manuscript. It looks the closest to a professional cookbook than I have ever made the manuscript for these cookbooks. I was so proud of it, but we are having issues with our printers. They are continuing to tell us that it is a comic book because there's too many graphics. It's too graphic heavy. And so, yeah, I'm kind of upset, and I know I've put it off a little bit more than I should have. Morning, Michael. It's good to see you. So yeah, I admit there's a little bit of a block there. I have decided I'm going to ask for help. So I will, thank you for the heart. I'm probably going to talk to some of the moderators in On the Wings for Writers and say, okay, I need someone to put a fire under me or something, or someone to take some steps, because I just have a block right now. And I'm so upset over this situation. And the fact that not only do I have to strip it down and start over, but also I have to write the charity and explain to them why it's 3 months into the year and it's not out yet. And yeah. But luckily I will be doing a stream, not this week, but next week on the 22nd to celebrate the beginning of spring. I will be doing a several-hour sprint stream, and to raise money and awareness for the charity of the year. So that's thestore.org. It's a great charity. We learned about that from a show called Somebody Feed Phil. It's a food organization out of Nashville, Tennessee. And that's what everybody voted on. So yeah, very excited about that. And hopefully we will bring some attention to it. So I will probably do more than 2 hours. I usually do a 2-hour sprint. So I will probably do maybe 3. I might get it up to 3. We'll see how my pain tolerance is that day. But we will definitely aim for 2. We know for certain. So, but look forward to that. Come hang out. Even if you aren't able to donate, maybe spreading the word, sharing the live with others. But we will have the links and everything. And so I'm looking forward to doing that. Other projects. I love Phil's show. I know, isn't it great? There's a new season. New season just got dropped. Somebody Feed Phil. So yay! More Phil. If you haven't seen Somebody Feed Phil, and I think there's another one. There's another one. I only use Google Docs as a tertiary backup of all finished stories because I live in a rural area and the connection is not reliable. The nice thing, yeah, you can use Google Docs disconnected as well, but I can understand that. Yeah, I can definitely understand if you live out in the rural area and connection is tough. The work offline toggle of people does. It's not. Oh, the other show is I'll Have What Phil's Having. So there. It was an older one. The work offline toggle of Google does. Oh, it's not dependable. Yeah, I can see where that would be a problem. I can see, yeah. Luckily, I live in the city, so my internet is pretty reliable. Unless we're having, electrical problems. Which is what happened to me the other day. I'm getting bings everywhere. Question: how much do you spend a month on all the programs you use for your author life? Well, I am very lucky. I am extremely lucky. My roommate is also an author, and so she bought ProWrite and lets me use it. She also lets me use her Atticus, and she lets me use her book funnel. So I'm very lucky in that respect that I don't have to pay for those subscriptions. I would like to have a subscription to One Stop for Writers. I don't think it's super expensive. Let me see how much the subscription is. You can get a 14-day free trial for One Stop for Writers, and then a 1-month subscription is $11, and then they have a 6-month and a 12-month. So yeah, but I highly recommend it. It's very good. So right now I am not spending I do as much free as I can. Um, so yeah, I'm very lucky that someone shares some things with me. Um, because they have them anyway, and sometimes you can have multiple pin names. So that's how we're doing that. Um, yeah. Uh, I'm not certain how much Atticus is. Um, I would recommend Atticus as a formatting platform. So that one I think is worth it. And ProWrite Aid I think is worth it. Claude, I don't spend anything on. I don't have a subscription to Claude. That I use is free. ChatGPT I use is free. Um, and yeah, pretty much everything else I use, I think I do for free. The free versions of. That's why I went with Facebook, doing Instagram and Facebook at the same time for my social media, because it didn't cost me anything. Um, so but that is a good question. I know some people who spend more for their writing business, for programs they use in writing life. I think what I would highly recommend is talk to people about these programs and what they think about them. What are the good points? What are the bad points? Really get a perspective. Try a free trial if you can. Try a month subscription. Give it a go. And that way you're not buying a full out subscription and then, going, well, I never use this. So, yeah. Also, since you can format the same on Google Docs as you can in Microsoft Word and download it as a PDF. Yeah. So there for a long time, I just used Google Docs as a PDF for downloading. And I think you can download download a PDF and an EPUB file. So it will do multiple files. So that's the nice thing about Google Docs. So what else? What else was I talking about? I was on a train. Oh, things I'm working on. So working on the box set. Luckily, all I have to do is check things that just fell through the cracks. But I am having to figure out new covers for the new editions of those books. So new editions will be coming out soon, and the ebook box set will be coming out in less than 6 months. And the Kindle Vella for Hematite Without Faith by Anne Crow is, I think, 12 episodes in or 11 episodes in. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. So it's slowly coming out. So I'm super excited about that. So yeah, working on a lot of projects, getting those out. I've drafted so much the last few years that now I'm in editing stage, and I'm only drafting one little story, and that's my coffee read. So my poor drafting brain. I love drafting. I'm one of those writers that loves drafting, and editing is the bane of my existence. It's gotten easier, but it's the bane of my existence. So the fact that I'm only drafting a little bit this year so far is kind of heartbreaking. I use Calibre for formatting PDF. Yeah, I've heard of all. I do have Calibre. But Atticus did a better job. I liked Atticus better for formatting than I did Calibre. Like, Calibre to me sometimes is a little confusing, and Atticus was a little more user friendly for me. I used it for book 3. And it was nice that I could put in the links and then tell it, use that for the ebook only, or use that, or use this only for the print version. So I did find Atticus to be a lot more handier than than Caliber, but I do have Caliber. Another program that I will use is YWriter, which is free. But I might start using Atticus instead of YWriter. I'm not sure yet, because YWriter I can put in a lot more information, like notes, and I do enjoy YWriter. So I don't know. We'll see the next time I'm drafting whether I use Atticus or not. So I think I have to send somebody to bed. No. How do you feel about Vela now giving 10 episodes for free and limiting cost of the remaining episodes? I've just recently heard about something like that. I'm still just hoping to get this part of this genres out there and that pen name out there. So I can understand the authors that were making good money on their episodes and being upset about that. For me, it's still me trying to get out that author pen name and that get into that genre as a urban fantasy writer. So in a way, I don't mind, because in a way that might get me more readers. But I can understand that is your work and you've put a lot of work into it. So I kind of sit on both sides of it. Would I like to get paid for those 10 episodes? Yes. Did I put enough wordage in all those episodes to get paid for them in the original setup? No. I didn't realize how much you need to put in. I have made them longer since then. So I don't know. I know that I am going to use Ream for Essay Crow. So I'm just happy that it gets it out to readers. And maybe more readers will read it because the first 10 episodes are free. And to tell you the truth, I just want to get Avril in front of people because she's one of my favorite characters to write. I love that world. I love all the world building I did for that world, and I really want others to enjoy it. So yeah. I mean, I'm not putting the full novel on there. This is a story that will hopefully whet the appetite for people to read the first novel and find out, because this Hematite Without Faith, my Kindle Vella, happens between books 1 and 2 because I've already drafted those 2 books. And so this was a story I wrote for my coffee read subscription people, because I just wanted to explore the world of what would happen to Avril between the end of book 1 and her starting to date the master vampire of the city, and book 2. So, and how she gets to where she is in book 2. Because she's very frustrated. So, I could have put this on my blog, really. But I understand, it is your money, it's your intellectual property, and you want to get paid for it. So I do understand. And yeah, I did have it up where I got paid for it. My members only saw it for the longest time. So, heading out to make pancakes for the family. Happy productivity and have a blessed day. Oh, thank you, hon. Jen wants pancakes. She has I can't put it in an omelet. I can't put it in the fridge because there was no room for it. So she's going to have that. Um, but yeah, so I think it's time for reading. Let me get all wet. Yeah. I need to change this to this one. All right. So we are starting home fires today. Yay! So chapter 1. The spice store I'm driving to is in a rough neighborhood. Vagabonds lay along the sidewalks covered in old blankets. Trash collects by the curbs and shops have bars on the windows. Men and women loiter on street corners. Travis would climb the walls if he knew I'm here alone. It's the only shop that carries grains of paradise, and if I get this recipe perfect, I'll be one step closer to feeling confident in starting my online cooking channel. I haven't told him yet. I'm unrationally afraid he'll be upset. What if he takes it as I'm encroaching on his career? There's a big distinction between being on a television show and me setting up a small-time cooking channel, right? My mind goes around in circles, won't get me anywhere. Hell, sitting at home and writing cookbooks won't earn enough income to support me if Travis ever drops me for a model or actress. A loud boom erupts from the right corner of the car. Gripping the steering wheel, I keep control and pull over to the cracked curb. Older cars pass by, a few honking while a couple drivers give rude hand signs. Waiting for a break in traffic, I get out and make my way around the hood. Yep, it's a blown tire. Moving the car will ruin the rims for sure. Eyeing the incline of the road and the rate of traffic, I run through the contents of my trunk and consider my options. There is a spare, a jack, and a 4-way tire iron, but no chocks to stabilize the car. Looks like you're in a bind, little lady, says a deep voice from the shadowed overhang of the building. Gazing into the shadows looks like a common homeless person. Ripped jeans that haven't seen a wash in a while, a once olive green t-shirt now ratty and faded by time in the sun. The shadow of scruff along his jaw, hooded eyes, vast shoulders, and large muscled arms sheathed in ink. People have given him a wide berth, their tents and resting places far away on either side of him. Yes, I guess I am. I'm going to call someone to help. I pluck out my cell phone, searching for a AAA. An amiable lady answers, giving the needed information. I look around for the location. The address number is on the overhang above the homeless guy's spot in the shade. The smell of rotting garbage fills my nose, along with the stale oil and auto exhaust. It'll be a wait until they get here, he says as I end my call. His voice is gruff, maybe from the lack of use. You shouldn't hang alone. Head on inside, it's safer in there. I'll watch the car. Let me know when they show. That's incredibly nice of you. I gaze over the building, giving it a good once-over. Second Home Kitchen is on the door in white script. It's obviously a soup kitchen in a homeless shelter. They have plastered signs for suicide hotlines on the boarded-up windows. It isn't until my companion rises that my heart drums in fear. He's so tall, taller than Elliot or Nate, Tony's military friends. My mind splits, one part panicking, the other trying to be rational. It's not his fault he towers over me and is well-muscled for a homeless guy. So what? He's homeless. Doesn't mean he's dangerous. His arms are close, loose at his sides, and he's been helpful so far. The other part is screaming at me to get back in the car, lock your doors, and call Nash ASAP. He surveys the street as my mind races, shoulders back, feet shoulder-width apart, arms loose at his sides, gaze swinging in a 180-degree arc. Nodding my head at what I hope is the entrance, I take a breath and ask him, who should I ask for? My question surprises him. He was more than likely thinking I'd scream or grow hysterical. Instead, his lips crook at the sides. Ask for Nina. He pronounces it Nia. She's short, dark skin, and a wide, round face. Funny, I'd expect everyone is short in his estimation. Thank you again. I'm Raven, by the way. Nice to meet you, Raven. I'm Guy. He grins at me, even though I suppress a laugh. So that was chapter 1 of Home Fires. I hope you enjoyed that opening. This is, of course, Raven and Travis between books 2 and 3. So I hope you will enjoy this. And I hope you look forward to reading the next chapter next week. I will see you all here Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time for productivity sprints and writing sprints. So I hope to see you then. Take care. Have a fantastic week. And I'm always here to chat. So take care, everybody.